Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe you heard that the Russians withdrew from the Black Sea grain agreement, and they said, well, there were two parts of the agreement. One, the one that it was the Ukrainians being able to sell their grain across the world, and the other one was we were supposed to be allowed to get some banks back into SWIFT, be able to sell their fertilizer and other grains and some insurance companies, ease some sanctions and so on. The Russians claim that the second part was not, no shocker here, was not honored by the Western side, and they said, well, that's it, we're done. I have here an article from the Russians, and they're going to give us some numbers. Because they say, well, the world will be starving. The Russians, if they stop doing that, the whole, Africa will be starving and poor countries and all that. Well, according to the Russians, these are the numbers, the percentages, what parts of the world get how much they get. Also, the Russians said that they will continue providing Global South, they call it, with grain. So they said that we're still going to send grain to Africa and probably to their client states, countries that cooperate with them, not how they call them hostile states. So let me show you this little article from Sputnik, and it says that Russia to continue food supplies to Global South despite Black Sea grain deal suspension. So it says here what's going on. The grain deal expired on July 17th, with Russia having repeatedly warned the West it would not extend the agreement until and unless its demands concerning Russian agriculture and fertilizer exports were met. So they say, well, they did it, but now it says the collective West and Ukraine have continuously violated their part of the grain agreement as signed between Russia, Turkey, and United Nations. So that's why they said, no, that's it. So let's go to they tell us what happened here. These are the points. Can stop and see why some reasons why they were not, their demands, the part of the deal was not honored by the Western side, according to Russians. And here we have like this. Who benefited the most from grain deal? As per the United Nations, the European Union emerged as the main beneficiary of the Black Sea grain deal. So European Union. 38% of all grain was sent to the old continent. So 40%. So that means if 40% is not going to be going there, can you imagine what's going on with the food prices over there overnight? Another 30% went to Turkey and 24% to China. Now I'm pretty sure the Russians will solve these two sides here, Turkey and China, even though I think this is another leverage because, Turkey did some hanky-panky in the past week regarding NATO, and not only, but we'll see, and those Azov battalion commanders that were transferred to Ukraine, that was again not part of the deal. So supposedly Putin will meet Erdogan in August. We'll see if that would materialize. And I think there's another way of putting things in my negotiating table right here, ready for you, Erdogan. And Erdogan got his how should I put it, negotiating issues as well. Now, the EU benefited a lot. I'm quoting Nadine Raevsky, agreed, adding that on the EU's periphery, many countries have suffered from the flood of cheap Ukrainian grain. So, let's see who else got what. It says, in April, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria introduced a temporary ban on Ukraine's agricultural products. Previously, the countries of Central Europe repeatedly called on Brussels to move all surplus grain out of their states towards Africa and the Middle East for humanitarian purposes within the framework of the EU-Ukraine solidarity lanes. However, those who had not benefited from the deal were vulnerable developing nations. only 2% of grain has been supplied to the global south, despite the West's earlier declaration that the whole idea behind the deal was to feed the world's poorest countries. It says Russia did not benefit either because of the discount in prices for Russia's grain formed as a result the grain deal. The grain industry of the Russian Federation lost about $1 billion over the year. So, this is it, my friends, according to the Russians, and they quote the United Nations. Now, you trust them or you don't trust them, the idea is this. The Russian says, you know what, you didn't honor your side, part of the deal, bye-bye, and stop saying about, we're going to feed the world. You don't feed the world, according to the Russians. You just give it to bop, pop, pop, and pop, pop, pop. Okay. Nevertheless, it's going to be a tragedy, that's for sure, but the Russians said that they will continue to provide the, as they call it, global south with grain. Zelensky said that we're not afraid, we're going to continue supplying, like they're the heroes. You can make shit up. Now they're the heroes, say, well, Russia withdrew, everybody's starving, but we're going to bring it. But let me tell you this, you and I, we agree to something. We put on the paper, and we sign it, both of us. And that is, I give you these glasses, and you give me $1. Well, I gave you the glasses, and you don't give me the dollar. And I give another pair of glasses, and you don't give me the dollar. And we do this for a year, and after you receive a lot of eyeglasses from me, and I receive no dollar from you, what am I supposed to do? Give you more glasses and receive no dollar? I don't think so. And then I say, well, when I say, wait a minute, I've been giving you this, you didn't give me shit. You say, well, Emil, see, you're the bad dude. You fucked up everything here. This is like a narcissistic behavior. It's like, oh my God, I do everything for you. Actually, don't do anything for me. I did everything for you. You didn't give me anything in return. And if I say, oh, stop. Oh, Emil, you're just no, you're the bad dude, Emil. Just, you're fragile. Right now, if you don't allow your butt to be really deep by these guys, you say, well, it's so fragile. How about we change the position once in a while? But hey, they might like it, so I'm not suggesting that one. Maybe it's something else, but anyway, the baseball bat, maybe punk. Maybe baseball bat, not like that, but in a different, or anyway. So, we'll see. But I already just scroll down on some titles from Business Insider, Reuters, Ukrainska Pravda, all this saying that the Ukraine will feed the world, and the Russians are just, they are the bad guys. And I'm like, why don't you do it the other way around? Why don't you send everything with no cost? Nobody should pay for it. How would you like that? It's just unbelievable. But if you listen only to their story, and these guys, remember, they're gonna bombard this for about a week and a half, like that. The Russians withdrew, everybody's starving, and the Ukrainians gonna try to do everything. Yes, Zelensky, oh my God. They're gonna do this for about a week or maybe two, and you don't hear the other side at all. And then when you're gonna meet an idiot at work, or on the street, or a friend of yours, or a family member, and you say, what the hell is going on? He or she will parrot you that, and you cannot talk to that person. When you say, wait, do you know the other side of the story? From whom? From the Russians? Are you a Putin stooge or something? Get out of here. That's what happened in my life, and I'm guaranteeing you that happened to you as well. So what are you going to do? Don't even bother. I guess say your part, who listens, and then after a while you come back and say, see, those masks, they work just fine, and that worked just fine, and everything just fine, right? How about we distance ourselves again? Because that worked A-OK. We stay all home, go in a basement, order online, stay home, keep our mouth shut. That's the first rule. Keep our mouth shut, consume, order, work, pay our taxes. Sometimes, not required to have kids at all because they're going to import. There's no problem with that. They will take care of that. Oh, we have a problem here. But how would you want to have kids when the society is like, I can't afford to have a kid here? But they all look around how many people have dogs but not kids. Nothing against dogs here. You can love dogs, but it's a little question mark, Why would you want to have a dog and not a kid? Don't give me the, 0.0%. She can't have children, or he cannot, or something. Okay, that is a part of the population. But the rest, okay, don't come with a special rule, and that the special rule destroys the general rule. No, on the contrary, it overemphasizes the general rule. So anyway, people do whatever they want. I'm just saying what I observe, okay? And I don't think I observe something that's not there. When I go walking or I go biking, about 80% of the people I encounter, aside from the ones that are biking, are with dogs. No kids, dogs. It doesn't mean that they don't have kids. But anyway, as I said, I don't have a problem with that. It's just an observation. And I say, well, we don't have 2 children. We can keep how about we need people to do this. Why do you need that? Where are the social programs that would emphasize? You got more from where you don't need, and you got less or none from where you need it. Watch that movie Idiocracy at the beginning, and you're gonna understand what I mean. Oh. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.